Parking at night is one of the most talked about, frightening things for newbies. I like cities, and I stay for a season. Stay, puppy, stay. You start looking. What I would do is get on Google Maps. Here's how I feel about Walmarts. They can get noisy. You want to start looking for the truck stops, the rest stops, or the Cracker Barrels. It's not easy going into a city and you don't know the city. Where do I park at night? He's looking for places that look good to park overnight. There's a lot more to this, and I wanted to present it to you. I want you to please subscribe and give me a thumbs up, okay? And I want you to watch it all the way through. Let's go. This is an important subject. You're going to learn a few things. It's going to make you think, okay? Let's go. Parking is one of the most frightening, worst aspects of van life. But I want to distinguish some differences. There's different styles. I've talked about this before. There's different styles of van life. And one of them is just traveling. I encourage so many people to, hey, get your van going. Go ahead and turn it into a camper van so that you don't have to use hotels if you want to go traveling. Especially like in the summer, you want to go take a vacation. You want to drive across the country. You just want to drive across your state and look at things and see what's out there. But you don't want to make it so expensive. Hotels can be very expensive, especially in the summer. Unless you're in the Southwest. I will distinguish, if you're in the Southwest, the summertime has the cheapest. You could even go to Ventana Canyon Resort and get a good price. But normally in regular season, outside of summer, you're going to spend $4,000, $5,000, $6,000, $1,000 on a room because it's a resort. But in the summer, you can get some good deals, man, you know. But normally across the nation in the summertime is when hotels are going to be the most expensive. I made you coffee, okay? Here you go. Cheers. I just made it too. And it's probably the best temperature. Yes, it's hot, but not burning hot. You know what I mean? I don't know why I have to distinguish that. How do you tell me in comments how you like yours? I've already had a cup of coffee. Then I had a cup of peppermint tea. Now I'm on my second cup of coffee. Okay, let's get into this. There are different styles and there are different reasons why people are going to want to stay in their van or their car or their SUV, whatever. You know, if you're in an SUV, you can sleep in the back of it. Sure, and even with a puppy, you can sleep, you know, in a car. Because it might just be like a week-long ordeal. But I will tell you, if you are irregular in van life, and you're regular, there are a couple different styles on that one. One is you like to hang out in cities and towns. And you like to do it on a regular basis. And a lot of you know what my style is. And then the second style is you're in van life. And you like to, especially in the summer, you like to boondock. But there are times where you like to go across the nation. And you want to travel and see things. Then you may go back to your regular area and boondock or go in the cities, whatever. Okay, boondocking can be a little bit easy when it comes to parking, because you got apps, you know, where to boondock. You got Public Lands app. You've got recreation.gov apps, things like that tell you where all of the BLM land is. And most of it, I will say, is on the West Coast. You boondock part of the time, and it's easy to find BLM land. It really is, and it's free. You just park and you park yourself, right? But if you might be a van dweller like me, and a whole lot of other people, thousands of people, a lot of us are older senior citizens and gals. A lot of us are. And because we don't have the same Social Security, which, you know, for whatever reason, it doesn't matter. It's nobody's fault. Probably nobody's fault but our own. But there were circumstances and people growing up, the boomers my age, as far as gaining employment and not taking care of kids, stuff like that. But that's okay. We're dealing with it, right? Right, girls? Right? We like to be in the city because we are females. And we don't always want to go out and boondock, right? We don't want to go out into the wild all the time. So if you're like me, and I know thousands are, where we're just living in our vans because of economic reasons, simplicity, minimalism, whatever. We're just living in our vans, our minivans, our bigger vans, our build-out vans, SUVs even. We like to be around people. We like to be around resources, whether it's Walmarts, stores, grocery stores, theaters, cinemas, museums, you know, all that a town and a city has to offer. We like to be here. We feel safer. I do. I honestly feel safer being in a city. Not a big city, not New York City or Los Angeles, but we don't want to live in little small towns either. Because you stick out like a sore thumb, right? And you don't really, yeah. So we're kind of medium, kind of city people. And a lot of you are. You know who I'm talking about. Okay, so we've got that going on. But sometimes we like to travel. Or we want to go visit family. And a lot of times in the summer you do that. But there's also travel in the winter too. You know, or in the fall. Oh, the autumn is wonderful. Okay, so with that said, there's all these different people living in their vans or traveling in their vans for many, many, many reasons. Well, I've got one of my best friends, and he wants to take a trip. He's up north, and he wants to take a trip to see autumn. He's tired of being these bricks and sticks. He's kind of tired of being there. We're best friends, and he just wants to go see. He's tried out his SUV many times, sleeping in it, and testing it out. He's even found places in his cities, in a big city. He's been looking around the past year for places to park. He wants to practice. And he's thinking about doing this lifestyle, but he wants to practice it. So he's looked around and he's found some spots, right? Because he's in the city a lot and he knows his city. But now he's looking for different things, not museums and what's going on and, oh, where's the best route to my grocery store. But he's looking for places that look good to park overnight so he can test it out and try it and see if he likes it, right? And he did, because he's there. And he's taken the time to look. He wants to go. He went across two states, and felt lost. I mean, where do I park? I'm getting tired. Where do I park? And he's got a little dog. So where do I park? Well, he had passed some truck stops, a rest stop. He went to Cracker Barrel. He just stopped, got a little something to eat, looked around in the store, and then kept driving to where he wanted to be. Well, once he got there, he didn't know where to park. He didn't know where to park because it's a city. It's a small city, but it's a city. And he doesn't know the city. So are you getting my drift? And it really made me think, oh my gosh. There's a lot more to this, and I wanted to present it to you. So what he did was, because it's getting later, he got a hotel, and he said, I was hoping to save more money. I was hoping to do that. But I went ahead and got a hotel because my dog and me, we need a place to rest our head for the night. And we didn't know where to go. That's the big dilemma. I've talked about it quite a bit. It's not easy going into a city and you don't know the city, where do I park at night where I'm going to be safe? We talked about it and we reflected on it. Well, had you known, you could have just stayed at the Cracker Barrel that you were at. He said it was like maybe 50 miles away. But had he known, he could have just parked for the night and in the morning headed on into where, I mean, that would, an hour drive in the morning to get where he wanted to go. And there were rest stops and there were truck stops, which are very easy to park for the night. I mean, they're going all night long, right? I mean, a truck stop. Truckers are there. There's other places to park besides where the trucks park. And that's self-explanatory. Recently, I had talked about that, and somebody said, well, you shouldn't be parking where the trucker's supposed to park. Defending truckers. Hey, I defend the truckers. They are bringing product to us. Thank you, truckers, semi drivers. Yeah. You're keeping the country going, so yay. I support you. And I stay out of your way on the highway. I let you decide. I let you decide what you need to do, okay? And I'm very respectful. Most nomads are. You know, it's just people who just travel maybe every once in a while, and they just don't have the heart in them that will give truckers a hard time. Yeah. Not me, man. I like them. I love you guys, okay? Let me take a sip. Okay, so let's get into this parking thing. So I mentioned to him, and I said, you know, you've merely made me think. There are only maybe 5 major cities that I've stayed at that I know well enough that I can just pull in and find a place. I know where to go in those cities because I've remained there. If I find a city that I want to stay at, I get to know it. And that's how I run my van life now. I will stay for a season in a city. I mean, unless something happens. But I will stay mainly a season. I know Cincinnati very well. I can find parking spaces to park at night safely in Cincinnati. And don't just include my children's driveways. I don't like to do that. I know you think that might be crazy, but I'm an independent person. I can take care of myself, and I'm not going to say, oh, can I please park in your driveway? No. No, I'm the mom, okay? I can take care of myself. I don't want them. They'll have enough time to take care of me later, right? Okay. So no, I know there. And then another place I know very well is Reno. I spent 2 summers there before. I know exactly where to park in Reno. I know all the spots because I took the time. Another one, Santa Cruz. And in Monterey, I know Monterey semi-well. Where else do I know? I know Flagstaff. Oh, now very well. I know exactly where to go. And of course, I got my beloved Tucson, and I know exactly where to go. And I guess you could say Quartzsite too. But going to Albuquerque, I've been there. The only place I've ever parked in Albuquerque has been Cracker Barrel. It was safe, and it was a clean Cracker Barrel. And I guess you could say, maybe St. Louis. I've spent a little bit of time there. And, but that was really a Cracker Barrel. It was in the city, and they didn't care. So I guess I could stay there every single night. I will mention, though, that the Cracker Barrel in Flagstaff, I do not stay. I don't. It's becoming, especially in the summer, it's becoming like a beat-up trailer park, an old, mobile trailer park. And I know trailer parks are really nice. There's some really fabulous ones. This one turns out to be like an old low-life one. I'm sorry, but it does. I don't even want to be there. In the summer, the parking lot is filthy because the store can't keep up with it. People are there with the worst looking rigs I've ever seen. No, I don't stay at Cracker Barrel. I don't like it anymore. I did this is my 3rd summer in Flagstaff, and first summer, okay, second summer, sometimes, 3rd summer, nah, and then this summer, no, I don't even want to be there. It's not cool. It's not a good place to be. So I have my own spots, okay? So those are the cities I know very well. I've taken the time to know them. So that's my style, okay? And if you want to be a van dweller and you like being in cities, that's how you're gonna roll. You're going to find some places you like to be for the season, and you get to know it. You just get to know it. So you're more comfortable. Like, what neighborhoods? What are some good neighborhoods you've taken the time to search out? Just like I did when I went to Reno. And just like I did when I went to Santa Cruz. I mean, you have to get to know it. Just like I did the first time I came to Flagstaff. I had to get to know it. So that's my style, and that's thousands of other people's style. But let's say I want to go visit back east. I want to go visit my daughter. Now I'm a traveling nomad. Now I'm on a travel. I'm on a vacation. So what I do is I have to do what my friend, what he has to do probably tonight, and what he should have done last night is, when you find a place, it's getting at that time, and you find a place, whether it's a rest stop or a Cracker Barrel or a truck stop, you park and stay, puppy, stay, and stay for the night. Go in and enjoy yourself. Have a nice dinner. If you're at a rest stop, go walk around, go to the bathroom. Just kind of prop your feet up in your van or your SUV, and look out the window and read. Get on social media, and relax until morning, and then get your bed ready, and then sleep. Then get back on the road and do your 5-6 hour drive. But towards that time, when you're starting to get tired of driving, you want to start looking for the truck stops, the rest stops, or the Cracker Barrels. Now, you can do Walmarts, but here's how I feel about Walmarts. They can get noisy. They really can at night. There's a couple of them in Tucson that I don't like to park anymore at a Walmart because they're actually pretty noisy. I mean, the nightlife, it's in the city. The nightlife is especially in the winter, oh my gosh, is pretty noisy. Why in the winter? Why, you say, huh? Because in Tucson, winter is really like everybody else's summer. They've had to be in the house, hiding from the 110-degree weather and the sun beating down all summer long for like 8 months. And when it's winter, it's party time, baby. It's time to get out and have some fun. So the nightlife is like, oh my gosh, yeah. It's well, I guess in the summer the nightlife is pretty wild too, because finally the sun went down. So it's a whole different culture in Tucson and Phoenix. Yeah, it's a whole different culture, a whole different schedule, right? So that's how I would travel when I'm going to go travel. That's how I do it. So if you're in a bricks and sticks, but you want to go travel, you're going to follow my routine and my suggestions and my plans for traveling. You travel, then you start looking. When it gets down that time, you start looking. What I would do is get on Google Maps when I'm traveling, and I wanted to see, I would type in rest stops near me, okay? Or if you think that, well, in 5 hours, I'll probably get to St. Louis, I would type in rest stops near St. Louis and plug it in. And then just put, okay, Google Maps, this is where I want to go. Now, there could be, I've had this happen where you get there and it says it's closed. A lot of it was being closed during COVID. It was weird. But sometimes they're closed for renovation, and that happens. They're doing something with it. They're remodeling or whatever, re-landscaping it. So then that can be your quandary. You want to, then you're going to probably be looking in for, Cracker Barrel maybe. Cracker Barrels will usually let you stay. They usually will. Walmarts will usually let you stay if you go in and ask. That's not always the case. The Walmarts in Flagstaff, no. I've seen it. It'll happen maybe every once in a while. You might catch a good night where somebody doesn't really catch you. But if I come early in the morning, I see them. They're parked. And I'll drive by. I'm like, it's interesting to watch because there will be RVs parked here. Yeah. And you're going to see cars parked anyways because people work at night. I mean, they work here. So if you have a car like mine, I could just scoot in with them and probably nobody would know. Nobody. But they all kind of park together. So you just kind of squeeze in with them. But if you have an RV, nah. Or if you have an SUV, yeah, you could squeeze right in. So there's a little tip for you too. You know, another place you could park is, I hate to say this, but would be Amazon warehouses. Yeah. I mean, when I worked for them, they didn't have any sticker you had to have on your car or anything like that, which probably would have be a good suggestion for them. But no, you can just go park and they're open 24/7. There's 2 shifts, day shift, night shift. And so there's just as many night shift people as day. You can, if you kind of scoot in, yeah, you can kind of park in there unless they've changed over the past couple of years. But you can also do that. So do you see the difference that I am this kind of a van dweller? Okay, this is my van life. I like cities and I stay for a season. I stay, puppy, stay. And I stay and I enjoy the city. I'm just living in my minivan. I mean, it's not like I'm out looking at all the national parks, things like that. I've traveled before, but now I just live in my van, okay? And I'm just like any other person. I kind of nestle in. I call it urban nestling. I nestle in with the locals. I just do what the locals do. Be a local. Be one of them. And then if I travel, then I told you what my system would be to find overnight parking, okay? And then you've got those people who are more boondockers, right? Now, if you want to go camping, my friend, he tried to find a campsite. Let me tell you about campsites. You can go on recreation.gov and you can find some campsites. But I will tell you, when it gets winter, they're hard to find because it's winter. And a lot of them closed down. I know all of them at the Grand Canyon, they're closed off. Yeah. And my friend said that he tried to find one, but they were all closed off because it's winter. If you're camping, you have to have a camp host. And it's hard to find a camp host that's going to stay for the winter. No. They usually, if they're camp hosts, they usually go someplace else for the summer, and then they'll hire them back for, some of them have the same job in the same location for years because they know they're reliable. They know the government knows they can count on them. And they'll get the same position over and over. But they also know that when it comes winter, they want to go someplace else. So in the winter, you're not going to find a lot of campsites because they can't find a camp host to do it. So there you go with that. And he couldn't find a campsite. So he had to get a hotel for the night. But I bet today he's probably seeing the sights. He might be traveling around looking. I'll watch for a text from him to see how he's doing. But he'll probably find something as he's looking around the city going, hey, that's pretty good. Or, hey, I did go to the Walmart and asked them. I did go here and I did go there. And they said, sure, you can park here for a couple nights and then you got to move on and say, that's fine. Parking at night is one of the most talked about frightening things for newbies and for seasoned van dwellers like me. For me just to drive, okay, I'm going to go to San Diego. I don't know where to park. I really don't because I've never parked there before. I've been there, but years ago. So I wouldn't know where to park. I guess I could find a Cracker Barrel. I guess I could, maybe squeeze into a hotel, hope that they're not counting and checking on all the license plates. Because the hotels I stay at, they usually want your license plate, okay, to see. So, yeah, there you go. Hey, I'm going to see you tomorrow, okay? I love you guys. Please subscribe and give me a thumbs up, okay? It really does help. I got the book, How to Live in a Minivan, the Minivan Lee Way, and I talk about parking there also. And that's on Amazon, okay? Okay? I love you guys. Mwah. Bye.